When I was 18 years old, I walked home from my high school graduation carrying a cheap paper diploma, only to find my front door unlocked and my entire house completely gutted. There was no furniture, no food in the pantry, and no sign of life. Just a single sticky note sitting on the kitchen counter in my mother's handwriting. It said, "You're an adult now. Figure it out." My parents and my older sister Chloe had packed up 2 moving trucks in secret, canceled the lease, and moved over 1,500 miles away to Florida without saying a single word to me. I sat on that cold linoleum floor for 3 hours, numb, terrified, and completely heartbroken. They left me with less than $80 in my checking account. I didn't have a college fund, I didn't have a cosigner, and I didn't have a safety net. For the first 4 months, I lived out of the backseat of my rusted-out Honda Civic. I showered at a local 24-hour gym, ate canned soup for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and slept with a tire iron under my driver's seat, terrified of every sudden noise outside my window. Eventually, I landed a graveyard shift at a local diner. The owner, a sweet woman named Martha, took pity on me. She let me nap in the break room between shifts, gave me extra shifts, and paid me cash until I could secure a stable address every single day, while other kids my age were going to college parties. I spent my free afternoons at the public library. I sat at those free computers for 6 hours at a time, watching video tutorials, teaching myself digital graphic design, coding, and brand marketing. I worked 20-hour days. I saved every single penny. I bought a cheap refurbished laptop off Craigslist and started freelancing from a folding table in a tiny studio apartment. By 24, I launched my own boutique branding agency. By 26, I had 7 full-time employees, a modern office space in downtown Seattle, and a client list that included major national brands. And by 28, I officially hit 7 figures in my savings account. I bought my dream condo, paid off every single debt, and finally felt safe. In all those 10 long years, my family never checked on me. Not a birthday text, not a holiday card, nothing. They completely wiped me from their lives, like I was nothing more than an inconvenient expense, until 6 months ago. A major business magazine ran a profile on me titling the article, "From Homelessness to Seven-Figure CEO." The article blew up on LinkedIn and Instagram, getting over 3 million views in less than a week, and then the emails started coming. The first one was from my sister Chloe. The subject line read, "We miss you, stranger." No apology, no explanation, just a casual, fake-friendly message, acting as if we'd just drifted apart after high school. 2 days later, my mother emailed me an album of old baby photos with a message that read, "A mother's heart never forgets her baby. We made mistake, but blood is thicker than water. Let us fix this." I stared at that screen, and my hands were literally shaking. My therapist had taught me to recognize manipulation, but seeing it right there in black and white made my stomach drop. I didn't answer right away. But a week later, curiosity got the better of me. I replied to Chloe with a simple question, "Why now?" Her true colors showed up in less than an hour. She sent a long, frantic response, admitting that my dad's real estate business had completely collapsed. They were facing foreclosure on their Florida home, and Chloe's own luxury lifestyle was falling apart under thousands of dollars in credit card debt. There it was, the real reason. They didn't miss me. They missed the money. They realized I had. When I stopped replying, they turned aggressive. My father found my corporate phone number and left me a rage-filled voicemail screaming, "We raised you for 18 years. You owe us. You're living in a penthouse while your own flesh and blood is going bankrupt. You are ungrateful." The next morning, my doorman called up to my apartment. My parents had actually flown across the country and were standing in my building lobby, demanding to see me. They tried to push past security, yelling my name, causing a massive scene, trying to humiliate me into giving them a payout. That was the absolute breaking point. I didn't cry. I didn't panic. Instead, I called my corporate attorney, Marcus. Together, we drafted formal cease and desist letters, filed for an emergency restraining order, and set up one final face-to-face meeting at a quiet hotel conference room with my lawyer present. When my parents walked into that room, expecting an emotional breakdown or a checkbook, I sat across from them with absolute composure. My mother started crying instantly, reaching out to hold my hand, saying, "Olivia, please, we're your family." I pulled my hand back, looked her dead in the eye, and said, "You stopped being my family the moment you left an 18-year-old girl in an empty house with $80 and told her to figure it out." My dad tried to interrupt, but Marcus laid out the legal restraining order right on the table. I looked at both of them and said, "If you ever contact me again, if you ever step foot near my office, my home, or my business partners, my legal team will pursue every civil and criminal charge available. You will not get a single cent of my hard-earned life. I survived without you, and now I am thriving without you." My mother gasped. My father went completely silent, and for the first time in 10 years, I walked out of that room feeling completely free. Today, I have a real family, my incredible team, my loyal friends, and a life built on resilience, self-respect, and unbreakable boundaries. They thought they threw me away, but all they really did was force me to build an empire they could never touch.